What's up, everyone? It's the interview queen, Alicia Toot here, and be sure to watch True Heel Heat.
Yo, this is Court Bauer from MLW. Shout out to True Heel Heat. Give them a listen.
All right.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Welcome to True Heel Heat, the place where we use insider terms because we think we know what the fuck we're talking about, even though we don't. My name's Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it.
I'm serious. I'm not going to sit back and take this fucking shit.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube and Facebook for AEWramble, episode 157, title versus career. Reviewing the July 31st, 2024 edition of AEW Dynamite as only we can. And to do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the man, the myth, the legend, the man of 55,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as every Thursday, you go to him for your honest criticism of Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling, and not with a Yankee fitted this week, the one and only.
Oh, that's Yankees.
Jimmy. Oh, it is? Oh, okay. Look like Raiders from there. You were too far back. Mr. Jimmy Macram, how are you doing?
I'm here, and I'm ready to get started, and it's going to be a good day. Positive thinking. Power of positivity.
He always starts off the show like this, and then it deteriorates throughout the 2 hours. But yeah, we got a lot to discuss from last night's AEW Dynamite, as well as all your latest news, as we tend to do for like the first 30 minutes of this show. So we appreciate you for joining us live. We appreciate you if you are watching us on demand. We are here every Thursday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, the best AEW Dynamite review in the land, one of the best wrestling reviews in the land, if we say so ourselves. brush our shoulder off. We appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching on us on demand. Show that appreciation back the simplest way possible. Help the YouTube algorithms find this video with a thumbs up on the video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, if you're watching us on Facebook, you could drop a thumbs up, a heart emoji, an angry emoji, a laughing emoji. However, AEW Dynamite made you feel last night. Let us know with those emotes. But if you're watching on either platform, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys and hear your thoughts on AEW Dynamite every Thursday here. So we'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But to make sure your comment is highlighted on screen, you got a couple of different options. You can hit the $ and send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It shows your support to the contributors here. It goes back to me and Jimmy for this show, and I always appreciate the support. My daughter is like almost 100 pounds, so I need new clothes for her, and she's getting big. She's like 4 feet tall, so she's getting big. Got to feed her some more. So I always appreciate that. It helps you out with the fam. And of course, you can also hit the join button and become a member of the channel for just $1 a month. That goes back to the contributors as well. And you can also become a Patreon backer like a lot of our friends here for $3 a month over at patreon.com/True Hill Heat. And we always like to highlight our Patreon backers as well. We got G Loke in the chat. He says, "What it do, True Hill Heat? I missed last night's show. Smile or frown?" Hey, I don't. You got to figure it out. You'll see after the review if you smile or frown, or if you got to go back and watch it yourself. We also got Power Driver Finisher here with us today, saying "Sup, G's? What's going on, good sir?" We also got Chris is getting a get well soon to Sky Blue after having ankle surgery on Tuesday. So she already got that ankle surgery. So shout out to Sky Blue, who got injured just 2 weeks ago on Collision. So that was a bad injury for her. So hope she has a speedy recovery.
Yes, speedy recovery. Absolutely. Don't see anybody get hurt. In fact, you would hope they have a strong support system. So why the fuck is this guy on TV? What the fuck's Kyle Fletcher doing here?
I knew certainly you would make this about her significant other.
Go be with your girlfriend. She needs your help. She probably can't walk right. She needs to go to the fridge and shower, all types of shit. Stop being an asshole. Leave.
Hey, it's his dream girl. It's his dream girl, remember? It's his dream girl.
Sure it is.
Eric Isaac.
What's the candidate that Chappelle made fun of? Like, yeah, that guy.
Howard Dean.
Howard Dean ass nigga. Oh.
We got Eric Isaac in the chat who says, "Hey fellas, All In looks to be a solid card so far, and my guess that Danielson gonna win his match." I mean, they definitely, I was asking for it. We were all asking for them to okay, I understand this is Bryan Daniels' end of his full-time run, but you really got to sell us on this matchup. And I think they did. You got our running.
Strawberries.
You want to show the people Augies and strawberries? And say, send super chat for more Augies and strawberries.
And more Augies and strawberries.
Yes. And yes, she has a British accent, everyone. Yes.
Yes, Governor. We sure will.
Oh man, I was like, I need to get the accent. Why can't I get the accent? I can never get this accent right. We also got Frantic Reld in the chat who says, "What's up, SP3, Jimmy, and Chad? I can see a big money star coming to AEW." And yes, I teased it yesterday on the 3 count with SP3. We talked about the breaking news that was reported by Wrestle Talk and Fightful Select yesterday afternoon, I believe, for us in the UK. Thursday, Wednesday morning for all of you in the US. Wrestle Talk reported the big news, the big picture running around the world of Tony Khan meeting with Shane McMahon, a quote-unquote private meeting in an Arlington airport on Monday morning. And the picture got quote-unquote leaked out as Tony Khan tried to act surprised and Shane McMahon tried to act angry. What was your reaction to the Shane and Tony Khan picture and the news of their meeting?
What are we doing? Why won't this story go away? It just keeps popping up every month. This really helps nobody. I mean, I guess to give AEW a week bump, 2 week bump, maybe. But at the end of the day, first of all, it's not a league. I'm not entirely sure. I won't say it's not a league. This is not an outside league. This is a league by one of the two parties. Obviously. Obviously. My guess originally,
it's Tony.
That's my guess originally, but now I changed my pick. I'm going with Shane Leak did. She's trying to hustle his family out of some money. If you don't let me move, I'll go, goddammit. No, Stephanie's like, beat it.
You see me? You see me out here, Steph?
Beat it. Hit the bricks.
Both of them had to agree on this being like put out there because it helps both of them when Tony Khan it gets people to talk about AEW and interest, or if there's a bad move or a good move or a bad move, he can gauge what his fan base thinks about it. And for Shane McMahon, like you said, it's the best way to get WWE interested in him again.
Yeah, so no matter from a strategic standpoint from either party, I just don't want people to get excited. And too many people are excited, and it bothers me. I ain't gonna lie to you. It bothers me a lot.
I'm more excited. I talked myself into it on the 3 count with SP3 only because you know me. You know me. Ever since I started doing this as my full-time job, I love chaos. I love drama. I love chaos. And this would just be like the old Vince McMahon panic book button that he used to put like panic book and put a McMahon on TV.
Yes.
So much chaos from a Shane McMahon signing with AEW or just appearing on an AEW.
Like if it's a one-off appearance, I'm fine with it. They bring him in. I'm also fine with it. Whatever. Like you said, chaos. Tony Khan deserves whatever he gets. So hey, bring in Shane. I'm sure it'll work out well. He very much likes to take orders.
He's gonna book the Royal Rampage next year.
Yeah. Go toe to toe with fucking Wardlow. What the fuck are we doing?
I was like, that's also what I said. I was like, I could get with this if he's like a character, if he's an authority figure, if he's a manager. But if he's a wrestler and he's going toe to toe with Will Ospreay and Swerve and MJF, I was like, I can't deal with MMA man Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon when he was the cowardly heel is he overachieved as a character during the Attitude Era. But like MMA man Shane McMahon after his return in 2016, that was good for like a year and a half when he was part MMA man, part an authority figure when he was on SmackDown Live. He played an honest, kind of straightforward authority figure. And then when he needed to, he would step into the ring with AJ Styles, Kevin Owens. Those were good matches. But then it got long in the tooth. The longer he stayed around, and then it hit the peak of, get him off of my TV when it became Shane Down Live. And he was all over the show, and he became the best in the world. And this motherfucker is one of 3 people. There are 3 people that have beaten Roman Reigns in the past 5 years. It is Cody Rhodes, Baron Corbin, and Shane McMahon. You see how far down the steps we got there? We went Cody Rhodes, Baron Corbin, Shane McMahon.
I wouldn't be shocked if he does come in. He's gonna be part of this Buck storyline with authority figures. Somehow they piece of hit the consortium. It's Ric Flair. It's Shane McMahon.
That's what I said. I said he buys a portion of AEW, and he's the new authority figure as part of the elite. And I said the massive amount of heat that like Okada or the EVPs would get when Kenny Omega comes back and Okada says, no, I'm not going to face the best bout machine. The best in the world will face the best bout machine.
It's Kenny Omega. No, it's the real. It's the real. Oh my God, what are we doing?
It writes itself. I can see him like being a manager for Wardlow. That might be the only way to get Wardlow back.
Shane's not coming in for a manager role. Shane's coming in to be the star of the show. Or to own a piece of this fucking place. That's about it.
I can see that.
Like a quick one-off where he beats up fucking, what's the lawyer's name? He beats up Sterling or somebody.
Smart Mark Sterling. Yeah.
Everybody cheers and it pops everybody and then goes away.
Or he works with Mercedes and Moné Corporation.
Oh my God. You heard she just filed for divorce.
Yes.
Any
thoughts on that?
Sir, count your blessings. You lasted that long. I don't know how. I don't know how you got in there in the first place. It's like sneaking into a building that you don't work in and just end up working there for 5 years. The motherfuckers finally look at it like, you have to go.
I don't think you're working to the position that we have you at.
But sorry, Charlie. I thought it happened a long time ago. To be completely honest with you.
Fair. We should mention Shane McMahon has given a statement to Bully Ray about his meeting with Tony Khan, and the statement reads, Tony and I were connected through a mutual friend, Mercedes Moné, and we had a great meeting. We talked about many things, but mostly about our shared love for the business and the rewards and challenges of working with family. I congratulated him on the 5-year anniversary of AEW and look forward to how he evolves the business moving forward.
First of all, none of that is a reason for a meeting. Don't play me. That's a fucking phone call. That's we bumped into each other at Thanksgiving. That's not a reason to have a fucking private meeting. The fuck are you babbling about? Whatever. Shane's trying to hustle me. I'm not gonna fall for it. I'm not falling for it. You know. Congrats to Bully Ray though. I know we're close.
Apparently so. But what do you think? What would you put the percentage at for Shane McMahon coming into AEW following this news?
Let me see. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm not expecting it. Let's say 35-65, 40-60.
40-60, 40 being the he comes in.
He will, yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Are you higher than that?
I'm at 50-50, honestly, at this point. I'm at a 50-50 with the fact that, yes, 100% the way the photo looks, it was definitely on purpose put out there. It wasn't leaked. It was purposely put out there, and you got to think it's for a reason. If the leak and it being put out there is from AEW Tony Khan's side, it's got to be out there because there's a chance, and he's trying to gauge how the fans feel about it. But if it's out there because of the Shane McMahon side, like you said, wouldn't be surprised if Shane McMahon returns to WWE at SummerSlam.
Don't fold, Triple H. Don't fold. Don't listen to your wife. No offense. It's great and all that. We're on demon time. We're not listening to women when it comes to their brothers. Sorry. I'm sure Nick Khan has got the exact same reaction. No. For what? Makes me no money.
No. Let's not do that. I think you have your times a little mixed up, Chris. We are 24 days from All In. It's on August 25th. Yes, getting close. I will say, we saw earlier Eric Isaac saying the card looked solid. I don't remember the last time that AEW had 5 matches set for a pay-per-view 3 weeks out.
That's very true. And they're all pretty good matches. They're all pretty good matches. Yeah. They're all levels from very good to, I guess, start. We're going to have 10 matches on this fucking card. We can do the TNT title match, sure. Whatever. Darby and Jungle Boy is a dynamite ass match. Can you just admit this? I'm sorry.
It's a good mid-card pay-per-view matchup. Mid-card pay-per-view match that they've been building since like May.
Darby Allin. He can't escape this vortex. He cannot escape this vortex of never being a main eventer. Like, they don't trust his body. No, fair enough. I wouldn't either.
To be fair, I mean, the way this dude has main event TV matches that he's just getting. I was just like, I said to the True Hill Heat chat last night, I was like, Darby Allin will be beaten into oblivion for our entertainment. He loves this business.
I don't get it. I don't love anything that fucking much. Hey, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Shane, Power Driver Finisher says Shane is the savior of AEW that was prophesized. I didn't believe it at first, and now it's clear as day.
Oh my God. This is, listen, Tony Khan is too much of a, I'm going to say he's just fucking an egomaniac. I'm sure he is, but I don't know that for sure, so I'm not going to say that. But he is territorial. There's no way Shane gets any type of reasonable thing outside of talent. You're a talent. You're very expensive, very well-known talent. And maybe I pretend to take your advice in some storylines. But
yeah, he'll try to act like he does.
We're not partners. Sorry.
We do have a super chat donation from our good brother Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support as always.
But don't push me. That's Tupac.
Chuck Berry says, this is for my Harlem and Bronx. Oh, Yankees owned my floundering Bills yesterday. SMH, congrats. Now back to that.
Sorry, Charlie.
You're from Philadelphia, so
Yankees are killing it. Sorry, Charlie. We back. Took us a minute. We back.
Sounds like it. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm from the outside looking in. I pay attention more when it gets closer to October.
The fuck is going on?
Yeah, what is going on with your? You have that red thing above your head when you're on camera, and then you turn it off, and then you have the. We do have chilling with Chase, who says Mercedes' husband didn't finish the story. Now got no job and no girl. That's tough. Ugh. That's tough. That is tough. Power Driver Finisher saying, nice quick stumble down the stairs of opponents Roman has lost to in the past 5 years. It hasn't been the outside of Cody, hasn't been the best crop of talent that has been beating Roman Reigns. We also got Frantic World, who's surprised, says, wait, Mercedes is single now? Don't worry, you don't have a chance.
Yeah, sorry. Only one loser per fucking lifetime. Sorry. She will be upgrading this go around. Who's on that fucking roster? Nah, she'll probably, you know that? Ready? I'm gonna call her right now. She ends up dating and marrying some loser outside of the business. Like some, I don't want to say Harvey Weinstein type, but like somebody who's a producer for something important. He's rich, but nobody knows who he is. I'm calling.
I'm calling it. It's one of Swerve's C-list celebrity friends. Is going to be her next boyfriend.
Is he white?
You think she's only going with a white guy now?
Yes. Yes, to answer your question. She's from Boston. Yes.
We got another. Why are you writing on your face?
What's this?
Did you say hi to Jimmy?
Hi, Jimmy. I got you.
Hello, Governor.
You got a pen marker on your face. Tell everybody to like, share, and subscribe.
No, shut it.
All right, do not write on your face, please, and do not write on the walls either, because your mommy's gonna get mad. Okay, don't do that. We got another super chat donation here from Chuck Berries. Thank you once again, Chuck Berries. We always appreciate that, and that's why we want you to
speak, bitch. Come on now. Oh my God, Siobhan. What the hell is wrong with you?
That's never not funny. And the reaction.
Never not. Jesus. Okay.
I think I took this right there.
You're gonna sit right here in the small corner of the room, and your foot's in the door. Yeah, don't slam the door on your foot. Chuck Berry says, how much of a spike in ratings do you think Shane McMahon could bring to AEW programming? I'm thinking like anywhere between 50 to 100,000 for like 1 to 2 weeks.
That sounds right. Yeah, we'll call it 100,000 the first week. Maybe even 150. Shane's a big deal. He's got his own name.
It's a McMahon on AEW television.
Yeah. So let's go 150 and then 50 and then a slow dissipation back to where they were.
Yeah. Should be it would be interesting. I will say that.
That would be.
And I would do it like just come in for like one role. Like before last night's promo, I suggested on the 3 count with SP3, I was like, he is the special guest referee for because it needed a hook. It needed a hook.
Oh.
He has history with Shane. Bryan has history with Shane from when they were authority figures on SmackDown. So I was like, hey, give it a hook. Something interesting. Where would his alliance be drawn? Something like that.
I wouldn't be mad at that idea. I'm gonna take your special referee idea and I'm gonna combine it with mine, and he is the special referee for whatever big TK versus Bucks fucking control the company match we're gonna do.
All right, I'll give you the pen again, but you can't write on the wall or you don't. Yeah, that pen, please. But yeah, that's what I think as far as the spike in the ratings. But I agree. Yeah, I could see something like that with him getting involved with the Elite. I think that's the one thing that I said, like, that kind of writes itself. That's the number one thing, like him in some type of storyline with the Elite.
Sadly, yeah. Just want this to go away. Is that too much to ask? That's too much to ask.
Yep.
Can I keep Hangman? I keep Nick Jackson. That's it. Move on with life. Please. What the fuck?
And yes, I did see that Survivor Series is to be held in Vancouver. I think the only good thing that I got for Jimmy when I told him before we went live here is that he was like, "Oh, that means that The Rock is not coming back because he was supposed to be in Los Angeles."
Yeah, my guess is they were counting on The Rock to. You said that big building across the street, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do Rock and you do Bloodline with The Rock in it somehow, and then whatever. But my guess is now Rock said he's not available. He's not available. He's let us all know to keep your plans on pause while I do what I want, and then when I come back, I'm gonna change all the fuck shit you talking about. I'm come in and do what I want.
I'm coming back for Netflix. Coming back for Netflix.
Rock and Cody, calling it.
I already said. I said Rock's who went in the undisputed WWE Championship on the first episode of Netflix.
Oh my god! Oh,
yeah.
He loses this match.
Nope.
To the Roman or something. No.
Nope.
No. Oh, God.
Just so Jimmy can be so tight. And we're gonna have him on the Raw review that week. He got chilling with Chase, who tells Romeo to stop sharing bad news because he's from Los Angeles. I get it. I understand.
Oh, sorry.
We got another super chat donation. This time from our boy Will Chisholm, the GOAT. The GOATs, Chuck Berry's and Will Chisholm. They're already showing off.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
Will Chisholm says, Jimmy, what do you think of AEW fans lying to themselves and saying Shane will be good for AEW? Is that the feeling they were describing? LOL.
No, it's the hypocrisy of wrestling fans I always find completely fascinating. Because if this was WWE, it'd be, oh, look, Triple H is supposed to be the new guy, but yet he's using Vince's same old tricks, bringing in the McMahons. And now Shane is coming to AEW, yay. Shane's a bum. He was a bum in WWE. He's a bum in AEW. No disrespect. Sure, he's a nice guy. But it's over. And it's been over for 23 years now. Let it go. It's done.
He was good when he first came back in 2016.
Was he? Or were you just happy to see? Or were you just happy to see him?
I was just happy to see him. And the song. And he's got an all-time theme song.
He does. And if he would have stayed and came back every 3 months, it'd have been fun. But he decided to hang around. And we remembered why we didn't make sure in the first place.
It's like a theme of all those guys who came back around like 2016. Shane, Goldberg, The Undertaker. That's when he started wearing out his welcome. Shawn Michaels comes back in 2018.
I'm sorry. Vince just flailing. Fucking flailing. But this is the consequence of my own actions. Yes, just do whatever he can. So let it go.
We also got another super chat donation from Will Chisholm. Will's like, Chuck Berry's you send to? I'm going to send to. You heard?
Listen up, you prick.
Will says Mercedes will date Swerve and they make a remix to Proud to Be an American. Tell us darkness to stop being lazy.
I would not be completely surprised. That's a hell of a call. Absolutely. She's from Boston, ain't she?
We need Romeo, if he's still watching, to upload the Uncle Ruckus theme as one of our publishers. Burn, 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 burn.
I'm sorry. I mean, it was her call, right? So divorce, so I don't feel bad making fun of what's going on. I feel bad for dude.
Yeah.
The ride is over, but so to speak. But yeah.
He had a nice ride. It was good while it lasted. But yes, let's talk about AEW Dynamite, which last night was from Greenville, South Carolina. What did you think about the crowd last night in Greenville?
Fine. Do you know how many people were there?
I want to say 3,000.
All right, for 3,000, you know how big it was? The arena? Pause.
Probably another 10,000 seater that they.
Okay,
I gotta say, at this point, he has to be just renting out like a quarter or half of the building. Because why does he keep getting these 10,000 seaters when he knows he's only going to sell at best like 4,000 to 5,000?
And it never sounds as good.
Yeah.
As if you would just rent out a 4,000 seat arena. Yeah, they were fine, I guess. They didn't blow me away.
That's fair. But we kicked off the show with our AEW American champions, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. He made his way down to the ring. He started insulting and mocking the South Carolina crowd. He says the trailer, he calls it that he is America's champion, but he doesn't represent the trailer park capital of the world, telling them to keep their meth-addicted mouths shut. MJF talked about defeating the red coat terrorist that was Will Ospreay as he wears a red coat, bringing the American Championship back to this great nation and promising to beat Ospreay again at AEW All In. MJF asks the fans to rise for their American hero, but this brings out Will Ospreay, the former international champion. He bolts to the ring to run off MJF. He hightails it up the ramp. Ospreay says that MJF better keep running, as after what MJF said about his family last week, he'll put him through unimaginable pain. Ospreay said not a single person here would acknowledge the American Championship because they don't respect MJF after what he did to the International Championship last week, throwing it in the trash. Ospreay said that men worked hard for that title, to have a legacy, to have a lineage. Men like Pac, men like Orange Cassidy, men like John Moxley, Ray Phoenix, Roderick Strong, and himself, who bust their asses week in, week out for the fans. MJF doesn't even fit that criteria, so he is not worthy of holding the international title. But Ospreay told we get the fans chanting USA at this point because they're in South Carolina and the South loves America. But Ospreay told them that MJF doesn't represent the American spirit. He doesn't work hard. He doesn't represent anything that is about America. But at all in, he will restore the honor of the International Championship on home turf. MJF gets on the mic and he says that the crowd are disgusting turncoats. He says, "You guys love Will Ospreay?" He was like, "You disgusting turncoats." He says at Wembley Stadium, MJF will embarrass Will Ospreay in front of his crooked teeth countrymen, bruv, and does the crooked eye. Ospreay won't even make it to All In, though, because tonight, everybody dies. And this brings out Lance Archer to the ring for our opening contest. But before we get into that, what did you think about this opening promo here between MJF and Will Ospreay? I thought it was good, but there was a disconnect because of the crowd at hand. They should have known the South loves them some America.
It's just goofy. I can't blame slave states for this. None of this makes any sense. He goes, the fans are mad because he threw out the international championship last week. Who? Not a one. Nobody cared. I'm sorry. We thought it was kind of cool. MJF's being ridiculous. And MJF's now got to go way over the top, even for MJF, where everybody's a turncoat and South Carolina is not real America. Like, what are we even doing? Why is this the move for an MJF Will Ospreay match? Do we need anything to sell this fucking match? Outside the fact that I'm MJF, he's Will Ospreay. We have to do all this goofy ass shit that we already tried with Cody and them, and it didn't work. We saw it fail already, and now we're gonna do it again. So this time we're gonna waste 2 stars instead of 1. Good job, brilliant. What the fuck are we doing? This is only fine because those 2 guys are really good. Otherwise, this is just ass. This stinks. Pretend it's not MJF. It's just some random guy saying this. This is objectively terrible 1980s ass bullshit. This stinks. Sergeant Slaughter ass nigga.
This is only gonna work in England at Wembley Stadium. So I feel like they did it too early. Like, this is something that he should have got like at least a defense under him with the international championship and said, "Oh, I'm done with this. I'm gonna bring in the American championship." But he should have done it like not even next week's show, the week after, like 2 weeks out.
Sure. Or when we're in Canada or something. This stinks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Poor Will. Poor MJF. Heel turn's not up to
both guys are good though. Both guys are good. They get it over. The crowd was into Ospreay, but they also love America. So
I would imagine they live here. Jesus fucking Christ, these people. I hate these. Tony kind of stinks. I'm sorry. Can you just admit this? I lose my grip on reality again. This is what I've always said. MJF and I'm not MJF, but the talent saves this fucking place. Always. Ugh.
But that led in nicely to our opening contest. Lance Archer going one-on-one with Will Ospreay. Like Archer mentioned, their history, these two have dating back in New Japan on Collision to set this one up. And what we got was a good matchup here. The bell sounds and Archer immediately hits fucking Ospreay with the choke slam. I was like, God damn, right out the gate. All right, I'm here for it. Right out the gate with the choke slam. Locomotion corner attacks, charges by Archer. Ospreay fires back with a handspring Pele kick that sends Archer to the outside. He tries for the Sake special, but Archer catches him in his clutches and he slams him on the mat. Archer told the camera they have a history and tonight he'll even the score. Taking way too long to follow up, Ospreay pops up onto the barricade and hits a Hurricane Rana. Archer went to get back into the ring, but Ospreay was there with a springboard drop kick. Ospreay started playing to the crowd and was chokeslammed off the top rope, and that led to our first commercial break. Archer controlled during the break, but when things returned, Ospreay flipped out of a chokeslam. He hit a hook kick and then tried for the Os Cutter, but he leaped right into a black hole slam. That was very smooth. He hits a massive spine buster. Ospreay barely got his shoulder up for that near fall. A thrust kick from Ospreay as Archer no-sold it and ran full speed ahead, where Ospreay hits him with a standing Spanish fly. I'm always surprised when a big man gets hit with that, because I'd be thinking your head is probably going to hit the mat, but it did. It was nice. Archer tries for an avalanche choke slam, but Ospreay's able to counter into a huge Spanish fly. He then goes for the Os Cutter 1-2. Kick out by Archer. The crowd was really into that near fall. Ospreay wanted the hidden blade, but was turned inside out with a huge lariat. Step up corner knee by Archer, and then he looked for the blackout, but Ospreay was able to spin out of it and hit a DDT. He hits a diving hidden blade, but Archer kicks out at 1, so Ospreay is forced to remove the elbow pad. He hits the real proper hidden blade for the 1-2-3. I literally messaged Jimmy at this point. I was like, the hidden blade is ineffective unless he removes the arm pad first. This leads to Will Ospreay picking up the win, and what I thought was a very good opener to the show. The crowd were definitely into the near falls late and got into Ospreay, got behind him, rallying behind him against the Giant. Post-match, we get MJF. He attacks Ospreay right after the bell. He then hits a vertical drop brainbuster. He places the Dynamite diamond ring on his hand and looks to punch out Will Ospreay once again. When Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay's friend, runs out to make the save, he fights off MJF, who bails up the ramp. Don Callis was right in the ring with Fletcher after this, and he told Callis that he knows Callis told him not to get involved since Will Ospreay is no longer part of the family, but he says that Will is his best friend, and he wasn't going to let him get attacked like that. Fletcher calls MJF a narcissistic asshole and said that that MJF's karma is coming back to bite him in the ass. MJF doesn't give a damn about America, but he heard what he said about the foreign wrestlers last week. Fletcher dreamed about wrestling in America, and he's forever grateful for giving America coming to this country and wrestling gave him his dream job, his dream girl, his dream car, a dream life. And he speaks for everyone in Australia, the United Kingdom, that everyone is sick of MJF's bull crap. Fletcher called MJF to the ring. Fletcher calls MJF to the ring. MJF acts like he's going to go to the ring, but then says no. He calls Fletcher a wannabe Will Ospreay, and he says that he doesn't call the shot. He does. No one punches an American hero in the face and gets away with it, though. So next week, Fletcher is on. And if he thought All In was bad last year, he's going to kangaroo kick his face off as MJF and Adam Cole beat Aussie Open for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles last year at All In. Nice little callback by MJF here. He says that though this time it's gonna be different because he's gonna leave them in a pool of his own blood like Daniel Garcia. Ospreay will be the one to blame though when MJF dismantles his boy. Fletcher agrees, and we're on for next week. Fletcher then raises Ospreay's hand in the ring while MJF poses with the American Championship. As Fletcher raises Ospreay's hand, you can see visibly behind him, John Callis looked quite annoyed and gave a reluctant nod to Ospreay when they went face to face. But it is official. We got the graphic last night. It will be MJF versus Will Ospreay for the AEW American Championship coming up at All In London on Sunday, August 25th. And then next week, we will see MJF go one-on-one with Kyle Fletcher on the August 7th edition of AEW Dynamite. What did you think about the opening match with Archer and Ospreay and the post-match with Kyle Fletcher, which I'm sure you were very pleased with?
Can you put an all-in picture again? So this nigga MJF looks like a fucking vampire, and fucking Ospreay looks like Bad Bunny. What the fuck is going on with this picture?
It is a very Bad Bunny hairstyle, I will say.
As far as this week went, the match was good. Lance Archer is always fun to watch. You know never to take him seriously because he's winning any matches, but he's always really fun to watch. I'm shocked it hasn't worked out for him. Yes, and the finishing sequence in particular, where there was 2 near falls, one being that fucking ridiculous hidden blade with his elbow covered, which never works, yet he keeps doing it. And then following up with the win, I enjoyed that sequence, though I'm already over the not real hidden blade. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Why are we still doing it? This is silly. Now, listen, I can forgive a lot of things. I'm all for people looking out for themselves. I mean, that's the goal of life, essentially. You are politicking for yourself. You are advocating for yourself. I never gave Hogan a hard time until it started to affect me. I never gave Triple H a hard time until it started to affect me. And I didn't give The Rock a hard time until it affected me. Once he turned heel, I was okay with it because it's in my benefit. And I never gave Will Ospreay a hard time for all this goofy shit he does, where he kicks out all these finishes and he has these long matches and whatever. But when you start advocating for other people, a.k.a. Shawn Michaels, I'm going to bring the crew with me. Your crew better be damn good. And your crew is not damn good. The fuck are we doing? Whose idea was to give Kyle Fletcher 5 minutes to ramble about nothing? He's got no presence. The voice doesn't work. He's got the look. But the voice is heinous. The
look is venturing into Machine Gun Kelly. He needs to change his in-ring attire. I saw someone suggest he needs to change his in-ring attire to like Kid Cash. I think it would fit more if he got dressed in like the baggy pants like Kid Cash. Then he would fully be embracing his Machine Gun Kelly persona.
I can't deal with this. And what he was saying was awful. That right there can just tell you how bad this is. That's just how bad this is. Because we just saw it was fine. The awful fucking material was fine when it was MJF and Ospreay doing it. Then they gave it to somebody who's not them. And what did it sound like? Pandering, goofy horseshit, which is what it is. This stinks. I am so very fucking annoyed. I can't listen. I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with this, and we're not going to give him a slide. We didn't give Triple H a slide. We didn't give Shawn Michaels a slide. Y'all didn't give Hogan a slide. Jeff Jarrett. We're not going to Will Ospreay a slide for giving his friend 5 minutes on the right front. We're not doing that. Come on now. No.
I thought it was one of his better promos, but not a good promo. It was something.
What the fuck? Tony Khan has some balls. Will Ospreay signed the contract. He can't do anything. He can't leave if you say no. Fuck him. No to Kyle Fletcher. No. Hard no.
Oh, man. We do have a super chat donation here. Thank you so much, Will Chisholm. He says, I see Shane already booking MJF using his daddy USA versus UK tricks.
Like, what is
they
this?
go on Twitter. I don't see how this is going to work. This is absolutely ridiculous. Send.
Heinous. I was so looking forward to MJF heel turn, and I got to wait another 3 weeks before it gets good. Jesus.
Hey, I appreciate the attempt to try to make this work, but it's only going to work on August 25th. It's only going to work then. or the Dynamite before, because the Dynamite before is in Wales. It's in Wales, Cardiff.
Oh.
It's in Cardiff, Wales.
Cool.
So, yeah, it'll work there, but like it's not going to work anywhere else, guys.
Yes. We changed it to American champion, but America is only Long Island. What are we doing?
He should have been the Jewish champion or the Long Island World Champion.
Oh my God. The anti-Palestine champion.
we got another super chat donation. Thank you, One Mike Nation. He says, with MJF new catchphrase being "Thank me later," what do you think will be his "You can thank me now" moment when he regains the AEW World Championship?
Oh, who's he beat? He beat Dragon? I can see that.
I can see him beating Dragon. Even though I think that even if Dragon wins, I think Swerve will probably be the one who wins it back. knowing how Tony Khan works, but that's just me. But I don't know
shit.
You know what? I'm agree. Yeah, once he wins the world title, you say it, and you can thank me now. I don't think Thank Me Later's gonna get over. Sorry, I don't see it.
No, not as good as my name is Maxwell Jacob Freeman, and I'm better than you, and you know it. He's gonna have to go back to that eventually. That's like an all-time catchphrase.
Sorry. Yeah,
it just got over as a babyface, so he can't. That's why he's not using it.
I appreciate the effort, sir. This is a lot of work.
We also got another super chat donation from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. He says Tony Khan is like, I could get Becky Lynch, but nah. Hey Shane, what it do?
I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired and I work with fucking children.
I always try to be objective. I say that's the only part I didn't like. Like the press conference, the only part I don't agree with what Punk did. But then you listen to it. It's like, come on now. This is brilliant. After you sign Sasha and you're gonna fucking pay somebody even more? She can pay more than Sasha would. I can't do it.
That's kind of ridiculous. Kind of ridiculous.
It's a lot of fucking money.
It's got to be like a per appearance type of thing. You can't sign him for like years because you already made that mistake by announcing Ric Flair was signed for a couple of years, and then you just dropped him after this thing.
Whoa, I think that was fucked up. I think Becky did better than that. I don't think she wants to come to AEW. I'm pretty sure she's going to be doing it. Her husband's there, ain't he?
Becky, yeah. I think Becky's gonna come back to WWE for sure.
How would you treat Becky? Because she's done everything already, like quite literally. I might have her do like a belt collector run everywhere else except here. TNA, what the fuck that deal is in fucking Mexico. She's had nothing to do.
Yeah,
it's kind of shocking.
I can see her going to like Marigold and facing like Saray and Utami Hayashishita. I can see stuff like that. That'd be nice. That'd be different for her, because like it's like I can see her being like inserted into this to get some more legs out of the Liv and Rhea stuff. Even though I think that Liv and Rhea will go on for a few months after SummerSlam. If you want to extend it even longer than that, you can insert Becky into that because she has unfinished business with the both of them. Because Liv beat her for the title and she lost to Rhea at WrestleMania.
That's true. Yeah, I can't like everybody else. Charlotte, Bianca, Bailey. She's kind of I don't say overstayed her welcome, but like you've seen this quite a few times.
Yeah, it's like, but I don't like pretty much all the major stars. I kind of can already see who they're going to be working with around WrestleMania. Becky, I cannot.
Same. Wait, who do you have Rhea working with?
I would think if you're not going to do Bianca and Jade, you would do Bianca and Rhea.
That's what I was thinking. That's the biggest match they could do. If they do Bianca and Jade, I think it's going to be Rhea and Tiffany Stratton. I think Stratton will let them in.
You see that?
Picks the belt.
Yeah, I can see that. I could definitely see that for sure. But I would think that's like earmarked for Charlotte and Tiffy at WrestleMania. Bianca's got all the options, but I don't know how WWE views her anymore. The way they've been using her lately.
Well, she's right now. She is the I don't want. What's the opposite of an anchor? She is whatever the fuck that is for Jade. Like she makes Jade seem more important.
She's bringing her up. She's the life jacket for Jade.
Yes, but they've told you what they think of her. She's fucking when they bury damage control for her. Fucking time did she go in fucking damage control? This new group.
They're burying damage control. They bury damage control for anyone.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
They had Bailey beat EO, and then they didn't care about Bailey for like 2 months.
It's so weird. It's a weird choice.
That was I doing the SummerSlam preview, check it out on the channel with me and Ella J. I was like,
I thought after WrestleMania, Bayley would be like one of the top stars Twitch, and then they forgot about her for 2 months.
Yeah, I mean that roster's not. I'll be nice. I'll be very nice. Once you have Jade and Bianca off to the side, this roster's not great. It's good. It's not great. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. We got another super chat donation from Chuck Berries. Chuck Berries delivering the goods. We appreciate you, good sir.
That's fucking bullshit.
Chuck Berry says, so now Kyle Fletcher wants some of that MJF rub. Should I take him seriously or not?
Not. It'll be a good match. Hopefully not 20 minutes. A good 15-minute match. MJF versus talented guy is always good. And hopefully
It'll probably be the opener.
Is there a reason they put MJF in the open and never in the main?
Because MJF is like, I want to make sure I get the highest rating of this show. He put it in his contract. He was like, I want to open every show. I know that's where my quarter hours are going to look the best.
Very true.
Makes sense. I fucks with it. And I think I messaged you last night. I was like, damn, they've had MJF and Ospreay open the show for the past month. They did the angle to set up the matchup for the international championship. They did the 1 hour match. Last week was MJF trashing the international title to introduce the American championship. And then this week they had the first 30 minutes with the promo exchange between the two, Ospreay's match with Archer, and then the post-match angle.
You know where the bread is buttered, at the very least. I feel bad for whatever has the main event. Been so many shows without main events, I'm very annoyed. We're going to have 3 this week, at the very least. Shows without actual main events. All going to be good matches.
Yeah.
Fucking.
I think this was a main event. They just didn't do the work to make it feel like a main event. I disagree.
Sorry. Gunther and Finn is not a main event. Sorry. I like Finn too. Sorry. I assume that tag title match.
I mean, that's only because they have really downgraded Finn. Dude. Like if you told me Finn Balor versus Gunther was a main event like 18 months ago, I would be like, okay, I can see that. I can see that. But yeah, now it's not. But I thought Hangman and Darby was a good, but they just didn't do the work to make it feel.
It's the same match. It's the same match. It's fucking bottom of the main event or top of the mid card, however you prefer. Gunther and Hangman versus upper mid card guy. It's not a main event. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
SmackDown's gonna be a tag title match, I would imagine. And I love Jacob too, but that's not a main event. Sorry.
We're gonna go to Jimmy every week with gauge the main event. What was the main event on TV?
No, you could have done. You should have made Seth the referee for that match. You need some practice. Seth is the referee for Gunther and Finn Balor. Then Punk could be on commentary and fucking Drew can walk out later. That's a main event. It's not.
We got Christopher Kidd who says waiting 3 weeks for an MJF feud to get good is pretty much every OG MJF feud outside.
Jesus.
He gets increasingly mean and bitter, I guess, as the weeks go on, or better. It could be bitter or better.
You think so? I'm trying to think. Jericho, Cody. The Cody stuff to me is good right away.
Yeah. As soon as he turns on Cody at full gear, he has that great promo exchange. The first promo exchange between him and Jericho was his first promo after he turns on Cody. And that basically gave them the big idea to do the feud a year later. Like that's right. The catalyst for the whole storyline right there. And him and Jericho, I thought that was good from the beginning when they had their little interaction after they both lost at All Out. They met outside and they were like, oh, we're both the same. And then they started that whole journey of them teaming up and him joining the Inner Circle. Him and Punk, of course, you said that. Him and Darby was really good from the very beginning. As soon as they interacted with one another, we were all like, oh yeah, do this. The Four Pillars rivalry peaked in like the first 2 weeks. It got worse as it went on. the four pillar storyline.
Yeah, so we can call it a mixed
And
bag.
and I would say the only instance that this is actually true is him and Bryan got better as it went along.
That's true about Adam Cole.
No, I liked him and Adam Cole from the beginning. That first promo exchange when he basically shits on him. He was, in high school, you was the man, homie. What the fuck happened to you? Basically, that's what I call that promo that he did on Adam Cole.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. So yeah, this just stinks from the beginning, sir. Sorry. It's just
No, I thought that this was good. They did the little stare off, the MJF storytelling with him not saying a word while Ospreay.
Yeah. I'm talking about.
It's the turn. The turn has been them trying to make this US versus UK, which doesn't work in the US.
Yeah, I'm cutting the shoot in half. We're doing pre-match, post-match.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. We also got here AOP who says, do you think there is a chance that I guess Lucha Bros and Daniel Garcia re-sign with AEW, because that's been the report that not only is Penta's contract expiring this year, but also Rey Fenix, and then the big talk has been about Daniel Garcia, that they basically Ibu of Wrestle Paris was the first to report that Garcia hasn't re-signed with AEW as of yet. And then it was Wrestling Observer who reported that the whole angle on Beach Break with MJF turning on him was to basically, if he leaves, that's his official write-off. If he re-signs, he's got a ready-made feud.
Leave and go and do what?
Garcia, people seem to be like the idea of Garcia going to like NXT and becoming a star there.
Oh, he just goes there and becomes a star. Oh, okay.
Apparently that's what you like. I don't know about you, but I just feel like he has a bigger upside in AEW, and there's more roster overturn coming for AEW than there is in like NXT. I don't think that he comes in and he skips over the line of your Ethan Page, your Trick Williams, your Javon Evans, those type of guys that they've been building up on NXT. And definitely I don't see a spot for him on the main roster anytime soon. He's got to go in with like a 5-year contract and realize that he's going to spend 3 of those 5 years in NXT. But the upside with AEW is that there's guys like Bryan who says he's finishing up his full-time run. There's guys like Moxley that seems like he's on his final run. Kenny Omega, I feel like he's coming back for one final main run. So there is more spots for people to fill and elevate up in AEW. I think the upside is higher on an AEW than it is for a WWE for a Daniel Garcia. For the Lucha Bros, I've said it once, I'll say it again. I don't know why. I think with Penta is different from Phoenix. This is where it would be different. If they're coming in as a tag team, maybe there's a shot for them to be successful on the main roster, because Triple H might be like, I care about tag teams again. And I need the Machine Guns. I need the Lucha Bros to really kind of fuck this tag team division up. But as far as like individually, I think there's more of an upside for Penta because he has that charisma to be eventually a big star and a main eventer on NXT. I don't know about the main roster at all because we see what happened with Dragon Lee. So yeah, I think that both and Lucha Bros have been mainly used. I saw some people asking the question, did AEW fumble the Lucha Bros? I was like, they could have used them better the last couple of months, but I can't say they fumbled them.
Daniel Garcia, how to put this nicely? I know you all like Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia leaving to go to NXT would be like whatever the fuck Sasha's husband's name was, leaving Sasha Banks to try to go get a supermodel. Sir, you shouldn't be where the fuck you are now. You are so lucky right now. Please count your blessings and sit down. No disrespect. Not at all. There's nobody you're jumping over in NXT. Not a one.
This might be the best comment that Big Man Dogs has put. I want Garcia at NXT because I watch AEW more than NXT.
Sorry. You have a lot of flaws in your game that AEW doesn't view as flaws. Like your body type is fine for AEW. In NXT, it would be an issue. Ethan Page is probably the worst body you could have being a star in NXT. Sorry. It's not Vince anymore, but it's only a little better. Sorry. Sorry, breaking news to you.
And I'm sorry. I really feel like the whole Ethan Page push feels like a petty move. Like a move like, oh, we're doing better with him than you. Because I'm sorry, they gave his first feud over the NXT Championship. The top prize on this brand is with Aura fucking Mensa. I like Aura Mensa. But NXT Championship feud with Aura Mensa? I know I'm saying the name, and I know Jimmy does not know who the hell that is.
I was about to say, like, I can't comment negatively or positively on this. I happen to think it's fucking idea. As far as the Lucha Brothers go, listen, have they been used great? No, they've been used consistently. Phoenix is always hurt. That doesn't help. Let it ride. I was about to say, Daniel Garcia's ceiling in fucking NXT is fucking Pillman Jr. Sorry. That's where you're going to be. A lot of flaws in your game. No disrespect. Yeah. Not the same flaws, fucking obviously. But flaws.
You're a much better wrestler than Pillman Jr. I'll give him that.
Yes. Restart with AEW. Get your MJF feud. Get your fucking Ospreay, second Ospreay match, I guess. And then maybe they put the belt on him.
Yeah. International champion, TNT champion. That seems like it's in his future if he resigns. I'm not really sure what happens in NXT or WWE with Garcia. But we do have a super chat donation here from our boy Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will, as always.
Tony Khan, this is also on you, because you can stop this.
I miss Eddie.
Me too. Will says Tony Khan can't lose out on the Machine Guns and the Lucrative Brothers. The Lucrative Brothers, not the Lucha Brothers. The Lucrative Brothers. They gonna be lucrative. They gonna get a payday. That's for sure. If Tony Khan wants to keep them, yeah, he's gotta go give them a high number if he wants to keep them because he can't afford to lose both of them.
Are the Machine Guns officially gone?
It really sounds like the Machine Guns are going to WWE for sure.
I want some.
You want some super chats? You want some water? What do you think about Daniel Garcia? You want some wrestling? Okay. All right. Fair. She likes Daniel Garcia.
The world is
You're curious about the Machine Guns, you said?
Yeah, I mean, my guess is they could go to NXT. I wouldn't be shocked they go up against Ciampa and fucking what's his face, even tinier Shawn Michaels, Corey Miller's Shawn Michaels.
Even tinier Shawn Michaels that's a flex.
Sorry, sir.
Even tinier Shawn Michaels.
What's his name? Gargano.
That's ridiculous. You're ridiculous for that one.
I'm sorry. I'm out on Gargano. I've heard too many reckless things to be a Gargano fan. Somebody said he'd be Dragon if he had Dragon's opportunities. Enough.
Wow. Yeah. Kind of wild. You're kind of wild. He was a big star on NXT. But like I never had high hopes for him getting called up to the main roster. I thought the best hope he had getting called up to the main roster was in DIY, and we're seeing that. They're having a decent run, but literally they just won these titles, and they already are versing a team that could potentially beat them on Friday.
God, I hope not. I wouldn't be mad if they did, but I hope not. I want to give the tag team division at least a shot.
I do too. But I wouldn't be surprised if they crown Jacob Fatu.
You think so?
They seem to love Jacob Fatu.
They do.
If this was Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, I'd be like, DIY's got a shot. But the fact that they done replaced him, gave him an eye injury and everything.
Oh shit! The fastest turnaround from we just signed this guy to I think he might suck. You think Triple H called somebody, or somebody called Triple H? Like his assistant called him. Like, I think he
This
sucks.
is totally like you're signing fucking Chris Paul. You realize it's not Chris Paul from 2008. It's Chris Paul from 2024.
I can't even imagine. We know who Triple H number 2 is?
I guess it's Bruce Pritchard still.
Fucking Bruce Pritchard calling Triple H fucking 4 in the morning. You got a problem, boss. I think he sucks. Sounded wrong Samoan. God damn. We fucked up.
We got his brother. We got his brother on standby.
Oh, Big Man Dogs. That was my thought. Not for these two. But I thought him and Solo should do that. They should be a tag team. And Jacob just does all the work while Solo stands on the apron and gets the pan, I suppose. Jericho asked.
And they could easily make this like a Freebird WWE tag team title run.
Sold.
I'll be down with that. We got a super chat donation from the good brother Will Chisholm once again. Will's like, I gotta get my crown back, y'all. I gotta get my crown back. It's a wrap.
You fucking mark!
Oh, I miss you, Jeff.
Will says Garcia think that he got that Julia swag, that he could come in and win the title because we know Julia doing that in NXT. 1,000. Yo, they're gonna be like Roxanne's been like, did these girls get here already? I need to get my main roster checked. Like, goddamn, y'all got me over here facing the Thea Hales of the world and stuff. Get me one of these free agents so I can get to the main roster and get this money. 20 years old. She's like, I'm about to get this biggest payday of my life.
So we think Roxanne's really good.
Roxanne is good.
I haven't seen enough.
I think she rose her ceiling by turning heel. She showed more to me.
Really? Does she not look like the least intimidating person on the planet?
Yeah. But so did AJ Lee.
That's a hell of a leap you're making there. AJ Lee's got charisma come out of her ass.
I think that Roxanne has charisma too. Not on the AJ Lee level, but she has charisma.
Okay.
She's only 22, 23? Like,
charisma doesn't increase with age. Sorry.
It did for Shawn Michaels.
No, it did not. What? He's way more charismatic as a fucking cokehead. What? It's not even close.
It did for her teacher, Booker T. Booker T showed more charisma as he got older in age.
You think she's just not showing it all for her? She's holding back. She's holding back on this.
No, I think she's shown her charisma in this heel role.
She can be fine. I just one match saw hers. There's only one match, maybe two. I was like, this is her. This is motherfucker they won't shut up about. I don't see it. Sorry, Kyle Fletcher ass motherfucker.
No, we're not gonna do that shit.
The views and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
She's great. She's the future. This is a 20-minute flippy ass match. Enough of this.
What match did you watch? Who was it again?
Fletcher and MJF.
No, I'm talking about Roxanne. I'm talking about Roxanne.
I
love that you
know it's that match.
You compared her to Kyle Fletcher so much that you just went to talking shit about Kyle Fletcher. You lost the plot, nigga.
All I was saying was, I heard this nigga was amazing. They had the match, and he's fine. And Roxanne, I heard she was amazing. I watched the match with Asuka on that fucking super show NXT. I was like, this is fine. This is okay.
Okay, that's fair. It wasn't her best match, that's for sure. We get up next. Thank you for the super chat donation, Will. I see you send another one. I see Louis send one as well. We'll read that in a moment here. But we do got to get through the show. We did get a video package on AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland, showing some of the articles on him, some of his interviews, his big win over Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door, and we hear from Swerve that he is the pinnacle of AEW right now, and we got Harlem wearing her Swerve Strickland sunglasses.
I got glasses.
Do you swerve when you drive?
I got glasses.
Send super chat for more glasses.
Super chat. More glasses.
You done? Give me a hug. All right. Thank you for the run.
Tea and crumpets, please.
Don't do that, Skip. Oh, any thoughts on the video package on Swerve?
No. It's fine.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine to kind of reestablish. I did notice, like, this was the first instance where I was like, oh, they're gonna try to push this main event hard on the show. I was like, they got a whole video package, and I know Swerve gonna come out here later in the show. I was like, they're gonna push this main event hard tonight. We get footage of last week with Jericho beating Minoru Suzuki with the FTW title on the line, and we go backstage to Alex Marvez, who is with the Learning Tree. Big Bill has a cake to present to Jericho to celebrate 102 days. That's the longest reigning for the world champion. Jericho said that there's never been a cake in pro wrestling that hasn't been smashed in someone's face. But not tonight. That's the only thing smashed will be Kazuchika Shibata's face after he defeated the Murder Grandpa. Jericho's hand is all taped up after Minoru Suzuki broke his fingers, and he says that the Bad Apple will do his business for him. As Brian Keefe said, next week he'll beat Shibata, and Bill handed Marvez the cake. I literally thought, I was like, they're going to put the cake in Marvez's face. But Brian Keefe just tells him, you better eat that cake if you respect Chris Jericho. And he says, ooh, good cake. Marvez is so bad, he's hilarious. I'm sorry.
It's I'm sorry. I get they like him. I'm not sure. Where's he from? Whose guy is this?
It's Tony's guy.
He's got to be somebody's guy. Oh,
it's Tony's guy.
Fair enough. Oh, he's not going to fucking work. This was fine. This was fine. We'll say fine enough.
Yeah, this was fine. It's Jericho in small doses is a lot better than a whole match. I don't need a 10-15 minute match with Jericho anymore. I just need small doses. Please. We do have a super chat donation that I wanted to read here from Louisville, who shows some love to Harlem World. Thank you, Louis. Showing love. She's our big earner, Whenever she shows up with me and Jimmy as our third host, we start getting more super chats. For tea and crumpets, as Jimmy says. Well, let me give you one of our bumpers here. Let's get Jimmy.
In hand too. And Blackpool Combat Club, they better wear out Teddy as long as they can. Hangman's going to come out here.
Steve Austin. Absolutely.
We also got a super chat donation from our boy, Will Chisholm, once again. Thank you so much, Will.
Why you so crazy? Take it easy. Take it easy.
Will says William Regal was like, I'm good bringing in great women wrestlers into WWE. I'm about to one half of God Boss.
I will admit, he is cooking. Regal's fucking fantastic.
Right. They also got the Australian wrestler Delta, Stephanie Vaquer coming in. So,
right? NXT about to be fantastic. Outside of main event scene.
Yo, for real though, like yo, thank you. I didn't want to be the one to say it. Their main event scene. I'm sorry. Like that's why I said the thing I said about Ethan Page, because I'm like, ever since you lose Ilya Dragunov, Braun Breaker, and Carmelo, they still They are literally living off of this NXT TNA partnership to prop up their weak ass main event scene.
Sorry. I guess you've taken quite a few losses recently. Maybe you shouldn't have brought them all at the same time. Maybe Braun should have been up here for forever ago.
And maybe if you didn't really have a plan with Melo, despite him having good matches, he's had good matches. You loved his match with Andrade, but they don't really have a plan for Melo. When you really think about it, they really didn't have a plan for Melo.
Yeah, this is the plan. You need a guy. You're the guy. Got to do what? Got to fucking take it out. Sorry. Maybe he pulled the Vince. Maybe he loved Melo, and then he went to go see him in person, and his fucking head showed up right here. It didn't trip. Still same glass from before. Good, less impressive every time.
You like your glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And mine.
We love it. They love it in the chat. They all did sunglasses emojis for you. Bye.
Yeah, Melo's really small. Sorry. I'm not against it.
He's my height. I actually stand next to Melo. He's not 5'8".
He's like, God damn. All right. Way to fucking shout him out. Hey,
I'm sorry. Allen Iverson's not 6 feet either, guys. Like,
he's not. Yeah, Triple H probably really loved him. Then he showed up on SmackDown, and he stood right here. And he went, "What the fuck is this?" All right.
He that's why he made his first match against Cody. He was like, "You're gonna make this WWE champion look like a giant."
I will say, Cody he is a rather normal looking person. Fucking, my sister saw something. They came on TV with him and The Rock. I was like, why is he so small? Like, he's not small. The Rock is just a gigantic man.
The Rock is just incredibly large, sis. Oh man, that's a fair assessment. Fair assessment, right there. We got up next Chris Statlander going one-on-one with CMLL World Women's Champion Willow Nightingale in a title eliminator matchup. Statlander early on goes out of the ring. Willow wants her in the ring, so Statlander attacks her before the bell. She hits a big top rope missile drop kick to officially begin the matchup. Statlander unloads with corner strikes. Nightingale dodged a charge and returned the favor with some big chops. Nightingale wanted a spine buster, but Statlander rolled through only to be dropped with a fisherman suplex. Whenever Willow hits that fisherman suplex, it looks so pretty. She goes on her tippy toes. I was like, that's how a fisherman suplex should look. Both ladies took turns sending the other into the barricade with Statlander in control before we head to picture-in-picture. Back from break, Nightingale battled back with a series of short arm lariats. Then she hit a spine buster for a 2 count. Statlander was able to avoid the doctor bomb and cut Nightingale off with a face plant off of an electric chair. And then she hit a pretty looking scissor kick. I was like, man, that could be her finisher. That looked good. Both ladies fought to the apron where Nightingale hit a big Death Valley driver on the edge of the ring. The crowd picked up and woke up at that point of the matchup. Nightingale grabbed Hathaway, which popped me tremendously. Stokely, I think like he's a frail child. As Willow was just ragdolling him, was hilarious. She smacks him in the back of the head. Statlander lays her out with a clothesline. Back inside, Statlander wanted a missile dropkick, but Nightingale turned it into a huge power bomb, followed by a DDT for only 2. Statlander knocked Nightingale off, to the mat out of the corner, and then she hits a beautiful looking 450 splash where her knee looked like it hit the face, and I thought that was why Willow was kind of loopy on the after this point of the matchup. She got a close near fall on that one. I love the way Stokely hands her the chain where Aubrey doesn't even see it. He just puts the chain right at Statlander's back. She picks it up, wraps it around her arm as Stokely distracts Aubrey, and then she hits a discus clothesline with the chain wrapped around her arm to pick up the victory in this one. So it was a it was a decent matchup. It wasn't as good as their Owen Hart Cup tournament matchup, but a decent match nonetheless. Loved Hathaway after the matchup, putting the chain in his back pocket all clumsily and everything. We get he hands Statlander a steel chair, and she starts wearing out Willow with it. Security tries to intervene, but Statlander puts the chair down and then beats the hell out of all the security in the ring to stand tall, as she will now get a shot at the CMLL World Women's Championship. Like I said, decent matchup. I like the post-match here that really kind of reinforced that Statlander is like a killer that could beat up men or women. And I love her and Stokely's relationship. Her picking up Stokely like he's a woman off the apron will never not pop me. I'm sorry. What did you think about this one?
Match was fine. I can't believe how much this feud is cooled off. It's a little depressing. They're both still over, but feud just isn't where I thought it'd be, because it was built up very well in the non-heel turn phase. After the heel turn, it's just been like, now listen, it has been overshadowed by Mariah May, obviously, and Britt and Mercedes. But yeah, I can't give you too many passes. Why not? But yeah, this is fine.
I think that they messed up with the timing of the heel turn, and I don't think that they should have had 2 matches before they have a pay-per-view match.
Agreed. Yeah. As far as this fucking the post match, someone explain to me why security looks different when they're backstage versus when they're in the ring? Did they just get the smallest wrestlers they could find to fucking be security when we know they're gonna get fucked up? It was so obvious. It was like, I don't know why, I just know they're getting fucked up right away. And they got fucked up.
Yep, pretty much. Just take them out, kick them in the chest, leave them for dead. Sounds good. We got another super chat donation here. First from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. As always showing us some love. We always appreciate it.
Let's fucking go.
Will says, and Punk and AJ Lee love Roxanne like they child. I wouldn't mind if Punk has kind of talked about in interviews him starting like a faction. If he turns heel and he joins up with Roxanne, that's the way to introduce her on the main roster.
Ooh. Yes, we were talking on Monday that Seth and Punk are both better as heels. If I had to turn one of them, I would turn Punk. Punk's upside as a heels. No disrespect. Much better than Seth Rollins' upside as a heel. Seth Rollins is A- heel. CM Punk is an all-time heel. Come on now. Knock it off. Turn, nigga! You're so awkward. You're not awkward. Awkward's not the word I'm looking for. You're never awkward. What am I looking for? Cautious? He just feels weird, like as this baby face. Like
it feels very pandering.
Yeah, but why? I'm trying to get the why.
I think that he doesn't believe. He doesn't believe what he's saying. That's what it comes off of.
Yeah,
that's why it comes off like pandering, because it doesn't have the belief behind it that he does when he's a heel.
Yeah, you don't have to be a heel, because like once the all out stuff happened, not all out, all out, yeah, all out stuff happened, and we got Collision. You could just tell he was different after that. I'm not gonna keep trying to make everybody happy. I'll make happy.
When he first comes back after the injury with the Moxley feud. I'm sorry, the Moxley feud is one of his best.
Oh shit! Oh, the Moxley! Oh man, I want you bleeding all over me. All sassy and shit. Oh, let's go. Let's go.
You were the third guy in the Shield.
God damn. I miss that Moxley. I miss that Punk. I'll take one of them back if you don't mind. Please and thank you.
Because it retained what was missing from the Raw promo. Like the early stuff before WrestleMania stuff with Drew and Punk, it really felt like these are two guys that did not like each other. And the same thing with Seth and Punk. Like, you go back and watch that promo exchange that all three guys had in Chicago before WrestleMania when Punk was injured. It's compared to this last Monday, it's like night and day. Like it was like three people that don't like each other in Chicago And then it was like 3 people that are trying to act like they don't like each other on Monday.
Like, that's a good way to put it. I was hanging out too much. Send nigga Punk home so he's healthy. I need these niggas to hate each other. I'm sorry, I just do.
So much better. It's so much better. It's so much
Right?
better if they don't like each other. We got a super chat donation here once again. Will Chisholm coming through. We appreciate you, Will. We're running out of bumpers, but we'll give
I'm
you
serious.
our
I'm not gonna sit back and take this fucking shit.
I finally read it. Will says, SP3, why your daughter sound like she been hanging out with the League of Nations? She been hanging out with Wade Barrett too long.
Governor. No, absolutely.
That was great. That was a good one, Will. Thank you for that super chat donation. Big Man Deli says Moxley versus Punk might have been the peak of AEW.
Oh,
That was right before it all fell apart. So yeah.
Yeah. It was, yeah. You know what? You may be onto something. It felt so hot. They felt like 2 biggest stars, definitely in the company. Moxley was on such a roll. I was like, I kind of wanted to keep the belt. I love Punk.
And it felt like an unpredictable story. That was the first time they gave us a big first time matchup, like out of nowhere. Like how they booked MJF and Ospreay out of nowhere having their first matchup a couple of weeks ago. The original of that was saying Punk and Moxley title unification on Dynamite next week. I was like, what?
What is going on?
We're 2 weeks from the pay-per-view.
It's brawling every week. It was great. That was fucking really good. Come on. That's a shame. One person who lost was Tony Khan. Everybody else won. Bucks won. Punk won. Everybody else won. So this dummy. I'm dope.
Next, we get what I thought was the peak of this episode here. Bryan Danielson coming out to address his all-in main event matchup for the AEW World Championship against Swerve Strickland. And this is the difference between Bryan Danielson and every other babyface. If any other babyface came out and did this opening portion, I would have been like, this is kind of weak. But Bryan's just so endearing for some reason. I think that's the best description of Bryan. He puts over the crowd saying that he's happy to be here in Greenville, South Carolina. He says that it wasn't for just a cheap prop that he mentions that. He says that he and his wife got their engagement photos taken in Greensville, which led to Taz with his best moment on commentary in weeks. He says, "What?"
Fantastic.
It was great delivery. The crowd chanted for Brie. Excalibur said they're fans of cheese, and this is an awful moment of Excalibur. Danielson says that looking at those photos, you don't realize the good old days until they're almost gone. Danielson is here to talk about presence and promise. We get big yes chants, and Danielson gives his best The Rock impersonation, showing us his goosebumps. Danielson says he brings up how he was present in the old days as he thought that he was retired. But these last 3 years coming to AEW after his retirement has been the most fun in his career because he's been present for all of that. The fans were chanting, yes, he was backstage being present, and he showed the goosebumps on his arm at that point, actually. The crowd chanted, thank you, Bryan. He said that he was thankful to be present for this moment. Danielson says, now it's the time to talk about promises. How he promised his daughter he stopped wrestling full-time when she turned 7. And his family, this would be the last contract he signs in his career. And that contract expires tomorrow, which is today, August 1st. He came to All Elite Wrestling and he made the promise to the fans that he would kick people's head in and that he would win the AEW World title. He's kicked a lot of people's heads in the last 3 years, but he hasn't won the AEW World Championship yet. Danielson knows that this is the last shot he's going to get at the biggest show of the year. And he knows that the doctors and his family don't want him to wrestle. But he promises the fans to be present, and he promises them that he'll give 110%. At All In, mind, body, and soul, he will go all in. But before he can continue, the music of the AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland hits with Prince Nana dancing him to the ring. We get in once he's in the ring, we get dueling yes chants and Swerve's house chants. Strickland gets on the mic and he says that he respects the hell out of Danielson for what he's done for young wrestlers in the industry. He'd want Danielson to have his moment at any other time. But this right here, it's Swerve's time. Danielson is the greatest of this generation, but Strickland is one of a kind. Swerve said that Danielson, this AEW World Championship means the most to him. And Danielson wants to kick everyone's head in, but he couldn't handle it when people start kicking him back. The AEW World title isn't a Lifetime Achievement Award. It proves you're the best in the world. And that's
you did
what
miss
Swerve
a word there, by
did.
the way. You did not miss a word. He just said achievement because he's a dope.
Oh,
go ahead.
Achievement Awards, excuse me, I'm sorry. He says that he is so ahead of his time that 10 years from now, people will have to press rewind. Swerve says that he puts over the Danielson versus Ospreay matchup, but he says that Danielson lost and got hurt. Danielson then picked himself up. He went against the Elite in Anarchy in the Arena, and he lost again. Not only that, he got pinned, while Swerve led Team AEW to a win at Blood and Guts last week. While Strickland competed at All In last year, Danielson's body was so broken down, he couldn't even travel there on a plane. I love Danielson selling up this, where he puts his head down like, got me there. Strickland promises Danielson he's the most dangerous man in AEW. And he promises Danielson, he moves in close to whisper in his ear. He says that he won't be walking out of All In as champion, and he might not be walking ever again after it. Swerve goes to leave, but Danielson stops Swerve and Nana from leaving. And he says that he has one more promise that he needs to make. If he doesn't win the AEW World Championship, he will never wrestle again. At AEW All In, it will be title versus career. He will put it all on the line and go all in the main event against Swerve Strickland in Wembley Stadium. Danielson offers a handshake to make it official to Swerve, and Swerve accepts it. Swerve gets on the mic and he says that it's very noble, but don't keep that promise to him. He says, keep it with Danielson's family. Whenever Swerve mentions family, you remember his history with his opponent's family. It's great. It's great every single time he brings it up. This was an excellent home run segment that really kicked off the story for the main event of All In and made it feel like the main event of the biggest show of the year. Bryan Danielson was excellent. Swerve was really, really good here. These two guys had great chemistry with one another in this promo exchange, but the stipulation that feels like a real stipulation that could go either way, it makes the result coming up on August 25th unpredictable. I had people in my comments when I talked about this segment being the segment that I wanted, the segment to sell me on this matchup, and it did. It sold me. And I know you told me it sold you as well, but it's really unpredictable because going in, you would think, oh, Swerve's title reign is going to continue. He's going to beat Danielson and move on. But with the title versus career stipulation, I don't see Bryan Danielson's career ending here. I don't see him never wrestling again after this matchup. So I think that is a very very possibility that he is going to win and finally become AEW World Champion with the added stipulation here. But there's also the chance that he could just say, I signed that one contract. I'm going to keep my promise and not sign another one with AEW, and could go another way. So it feels, once again, back-to-back with Swerve, with the Ospreay matchup at Forbidden Door, and now this one, we have an unpredictable finish to the main event of a pay-per-view. What did you think about this segment here?
Great segment. Dragon is splendid, particularly when he's got good material to work with. This is the best of it, right from the heart. Him saying his contract is running out tomorrow is, I'm not sure why that just, I don't know. It made it very real to me. I was like, oh, huh? Oh, okay, so it's like a real thing. Dragon has the, like, I don't want to keep dogging on Punk. That's one of my favorite wrestlers ever. But this is kind of the difference of who they are. Dragon does this sentimental horse shit. I believe him. I believe this is who he is. That's who he is. Kind of, I was corny, but he's earnest. That's a good word. He's an earnest kind of guy. Not very cynical. It worked. It worked good. And Swerve as he's not a villain, but as the antagonist, always works. Keep the promise to your family is wild. We just shook hands. This is supposed to be, man, whatever. Fuck you. It was great. This was fantastic. And lastly but not leastly, I say it every so often. That belt is a top 5 belt. I love that fucking belt.
It is.
That is a gorgeous belt.
God damn. It might be top 2. Like, this and Big Gold feel like the world titles. This and Big Gold feel like the most prestigious prize just on look alone.
Yeah, it's like something about it. It's overly big. It just looks good. I love it. I'm a fan.
Yes, indeed. We got Big Man Doug who says The Rock randomly got chilled when this promo aired.
He's just in this house and I've been watching.
He does the smell. He's like, ooh, I felt that promo. We got Frantic World who says this was so good. We also got Annika who says, I don't like scared Danielson. Man up, Dragon. He did. He put his stick on the table and said, I'm putting my career. I was like, the whole, this is the end of my full-time run. It wasn't enough. They needed to do this. They needed to do, put all the cards on the table and just make it title versus career. This was the best move they could have done for this match.
He's got to win this fucking match. Dragon, that is. Because, no disrespect, I don't know this person. I do know a wrestler when I see him. And if he was to retire after All In, he would, 3 months, 4 months before he breaks his word. Sorry. Very Ric Flair-esque. This is just, this is what I do. Sorry.
It's like, I can't stay home. I love you, Birdie, but I got to go wrestle this one match. I love you, Birdie. Yeah, I was like, me and you both was just like, belt him up. Who cares about his daughter? Belt him up. Make him stay. Make him stay, Tony. Give him the he's going to be like, no. He's going to walk through the curtain and be like, don't let me win. Swerve kick out on the big knee. Kick out on the Poseidon. Nope.
Tapping out.
Lay down. Tapping out. Yep. It's just supposed to be a false finish. He's supposed to make it to the roast.
He's looking around like Bret Hart. The fuck?
The Wembley screw job, but it's reversed. They don't win.
That'd be awesome. I'm here for it. I kind of want to see this.
We got one. Mike Nation says, once he said title versus career, I'm like, yep, Swerve is losing. I was like, even before he said title versus career, I'm like thinking about, I was like, when Swerve comes out and they're having the exchange, I'm like, well, Swerve's been champion for 4 months by All In. That's a reasonable first reign. I was like, that's not the best first reign, but that's a reasonable one. And he already got the trademark win against Ospreay at Forbidden Door. So he's fine.
He's a made man. We don't have to fucking keep the belt on him. Have Gunther beat him at SummerSlam. We already did it. We did a good job. Now we move on. Good reign. Now we move on.
I almost fell over. That was great.
I'm resigning myself to Priest winning that match. By the way, I'm not mad at it. He's been much better these last 2 weeks since Gunther. But
I think Gunther wins only because of the post-match angle between Priest whooping his ass at the end of Raw.
Yeah, that was great. I was so happy. I was like, ooh, maybe. Watch Gunther get his fucking come up with some pre-show. Fucking 12-hour pre-show.
It's a 12-hour pre-show. It was like AEW starting at 5. We'll start at 4. Big Man Dog says, yeah, all that might have made it better is if Swerve maybe beat MJF, because I honestly already forgot Joe's reign.
Same. I did. I was like, alrighty, what's the show?
Hey, I like Joe's reign, so I didn't forget it. But I can understand. If someone did. And then they added to it, giving us a follow-up of last week's segment with Jeff Jarrett giving him the pep talk, which led to him basically going all in and putting his career on the line this week. We see backstage Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Karen Jarrett are applauding what they just saw. Jarrett says, that's how you go all in, and freaking Danielson just slaps the hell out of his hand out the way and says he challenges Jarrett. 2-way match next week. Before walking off, Jarrett's crew was left confused, but I like the look on Jarrett's face, like, kind of understand. I didn't go in on your ass. So next week, it will be Jeff Jarrett going one-on-one with Bryan Danielson. If you had told me 3-4 years ago we would be getting a Jeff Jarrett versus Bryan Danielson match, I would have never believed you. But here we are in 2024.
I'm calling it now. No main event for next week either. Sorry. Jeff Jarrett does not qualify in the big 2024. No. That was really good though. I like the way it was shot. It looked gorgeous. Yeah. Dragon felt like a dangerous man. Man, fuck you. I'll see you next week.
That's what he said. Like, fuck you, nigga. You give me that pep talk. Now I might lose my career. Fuck you. I'm gonna kick your fucking at it next week.
Please and thank
I'm here for it. Oh man, that was a great best segment of the night for me. Spoiler alert. That was it. Between that and the post backstage. This was great stuff. We also got Big Man Doug who says, now this will be a banger.
Oh my god. Absolutely.
Gonna be Jeff Jarrett's best AEW match. It was Hangman. That lasted a month.
God. No, not against it. I do want to see the match.
Me too. Next up, we got our party match of the evening. Multi-man action, Roderick Strong, Roosh, and Beast Mortos versus the conglomeration, the Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Tomohiro Ishii. Yes, Jimmy's vacation from Orange Cassidy has ended. We start off the matchup with Ishii and Roosh going at it. You get Strong. We got Roosh and Briscoe going at it. Ishii and Strong. Meanwhile, Orange Cassidy is slowly taking his jacket off, and then he starts playing Matador with Mortos because Mortos is a bull. After flying around multiple revolutions with Orange Cassidy, Mortos fights back, and he pairs off with Ishii. That was a nice exchange between the two small big men. Ishii hits a big vertical drop brainbuster on Mortos. Ishii and Roosh go at it in a very intense battle. They start doing shoulder blocks. Neither man will budge until Ishii finally wins the battle. He no-sells a spine kick, and we get a forearm and chop battle. Ishii was sent to the outside, leaving Briscoe in the ring with him and Roosh. It made me remember their great match in the Continental Classic because they were they were just beating the shit out of one another here. Roosh started playing to the crowd, which ultimately sent him to the outside where Briscoe wanted a dive, but Strong cut him off, met him with a pump knee. We get Briscoe fights back. He hits him with the blockbuster off the apron to the floor, a launch over the chair, and he takes out Mortos and Roosh on the outside. Back from break, Roosh and Mortos had taken control over Cassidy, who used his speed to fight them off. He has a stun dog millionaire on Mortos. He goes and gets the hot tag to Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe starts running wild. They do hit a triple team move of a spinning DDT, froggy elbow, and then the sliding D by Ishii. But Mortos and Rush breaks up the count. Mortos wipes out Briscoe with a big dive. He catches a diving Cassidy, allowing Rush to hit a plancha of his own onto the whole pile. Strong hits an angle slam on Ishii, a tiger driver for a near fall. Ishii spins out of the end of Heartache and hits a big headbutt. Briscoe and Mortos come in. Briscoe's looking for the J Driller, but Rush cuts him off with a big punch to the face. And this leads to Mortos with a surprising win here. He drops Briscoe with the awful waffle, the spinning spin out reverse power driver, and actually gets the 1-2-3 on the Ring of Honor World Champion here. Mortos getting his first victory on AEW Dynamite, and he beats the Ring of Honor World Champion here. So good win for Mortos as him, Roger Strong, and Rush pick up the victory. This was a fun trios matchup. Nothing to write home about, but just fun action that had the crowd invested. And this Saturday on AEW Collision, it will be Darby Allin, Mark Briscoe, and FTR versus the Undisputed Kingdom and Beast Mortos in an 8-man tag team action. That should be another fun matchup as well. But Mortos picking up the win over Mark Briscoe was the most notable item for this matchup. Any thoughts? You're muted.
Thank you kindly. Why are we having an 8-man tag?
Because FTR needed a matchup.
Jesus Christ. This match was here. It was here. Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, the 4 niggas nobody gives a fuck about, and then the nigga with the horns in the.
You don't like Roddy? Come on, don't do that to Roddy.
It's over. It's over. It's been over for a while. You knew once he dropped that belt, it was over, right? We all knew once he lost that belt, we were done. Yeah, whatever. If you're gonna do it on Collision, why is it here? You should do that goofy shit on Collision.
Because you need a party match. They always need a party match.
Why? Why though?
That's their theme. That's what AEW is known for.
It's not like it gains viewers. It's just so these losers can jerk off to this fucking match. I'm not interested. Oh, whatever. Could have had a whole story. No,
you're gonna need another break from Orange Cassidy again.
Yeah, that was not nearly long enough. Holy shit, I was really enjoying that. That was not nearly long enough. Holy shit. Yeah, congratulations to everybody involved. Paycheck, and then another one on Saturday. Do it again. Like a house show. Just going around doing the same fucking match over and over again. All right.
Sure. Hey, I enjoyed it. It was a fun party match for me. What was not fun for me is getting a 2-minute Acclaim promo where Max Caster talks the most. They are backstage and they put over how they're coming to Collision. They said that they were looking for FTR in their own home territory here in South Carolina, but they're nowhere to be found. FTR are scared of the Blood and Guts MVPs, but want to be welcomed by the guys who said the Acclaimed weren't serious wrestlers. Caster said FTR aren't serious as they didn't even show up in their hometown to get their asses kicked by Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. Then it got a little bit good because Bowens started talking. Bowen said they'll come to FTR on Saturday night on Collision because they are never scared to go over to Dallas, Texas. And Bowen says that it's time to nut up or shut up. Why don't they care about, getting their title shot that they seemed very concerned about last week?
There is that. Very fair point. I don't know if Anthony, but we know Tony Khan watches. We know Triple H watches. We don't know if Anthony Bones watches. So if you're watching, sometime in 1998, Triple H had a very hard decision. And they were going to hate, his crew was going to hate him for it.
Like you're missing out on all the merchandise dollars.
I'm sorry. At a certain point, I've gone, you can say nice, I've gone as far as I can as a tag team wrestler. I think I have a very high upside as a single star. I would like to do that, please. And if Max is any good, he'll survive on his own.
And how about he keeps the scissor gimmick and he keeps daddy ass so he can still say scissor me daddy ass during his entrance?
Ta-da! Let them niggas have to keep the X. Yes, for free. Enjoy. I'm gonna be a star now. I'm sorry. You're better than this crew. I'm sorry. You just are. It is what it is. I'm sorry. Let it go.
I didn't get pissed at him calling himself the best wrestler alive. I got pissed at him saying that he and Bowens were the Blood and Guts MVP. No, Bowens was the Blood and Guts MVP. You were literally the MVP. It was like he was talking to us. Caster watches the Ramble because he literally was trolling me and Jimmy for giving him LVP last week.
Sorry, you're just a mic. I'm sorry. And this gimmick one is welcome for me. A long time ago. Years at this point. Let it go. Go.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes on Collision. Well, I'll see. Not Jimmy.
All in.
I think it's a three-way. We're getting a three. You think they win at All In? Yeah, RTR, Bucks, and Acclaim for the tag team titles.
If that's the match, I think they do. So we can keep this goofy ass shit.
I also I had that thought today when I was doing my notes for this show. I was like, they're gonna have the Acclaim beat the two greatest tag teams in AEW history, so they can claim they're one of the greatest tag teams in AEW history, and they're the young stars. So it does make sense for them to win, but this thing has been done for a while.
I must say, I do enjoy all the petty shots these companies send to one another. It's not really an all-out war anymore. It's more like just sassiness. Fucking, they push Ethan Page, and then when MVP gets released, all of a sudden all these black people win belts in ROH. I gotta be honest, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy some good pettiness. I ain't gonna lie to you.
He's like, look at us. We got Swerve, Mercedes on AEW, Athena, Red Velvet, Lee Moriarty, and ROH.
Velvet. Lee Moriarty and Red Velvet is crazy. That's crazy. Who are you fooling? Who are you fooling? Not us.
It's like, Tony's embracing this. He's embracing this one.
Oh my God.
Diversity.
Hey.
Thank you, Big Swole. Thank you, Big Swole.
Yeah. Sorry. It's built on your legacy. All right.
Next we get Renee Paquette. She has a sit-down interview earlier in the day with the number one contender for the AEW Women's World Championship, Mariah May. She asks her, what more Mariah May asks Renee, what more do I have to explain to you? It should be as very clear since day one. May wanted to be just like Toni Storm and gained her trust, only to slice her open and wear her skin. Paquette asks what Toni Storm did to May, and May says nothing. She gave May everything she wanted. May was told the business would eat her alive, so she guessed it was time for her to eat first. May says she's not answering any more questions, and Paquette tries to lead in, asks her another question. She's like, no, I'm done with this. And she has to get up and leave. This was like night and day from her delivery trying to be fake timeless Toni Storm. This was excellent delivery here. This was tremendous stuff from Mariah May. I was like, this needs to be the character. This needs just very nonchalant. She did what she had to do. She's not giving you more of an explanation, but this was a much better explanation than the first promo. It was like night and day. And then you have the complete opposite you have Mariah May all calm and sinister, and then you have timeless Toni Storm, who is on the deep end.
The hell is that?
Timeless Toni Storm comes out, charging out to the stage. She's crying. She said, Meg said she loved her. And Storm says, I loved you too. They said to find what you love or let it kill you. And that All In, it is going to be the romance of a bloody lifetime. She has the bloody shoe, and she starts hitting herself in the head with the bloody shoe. She has the AEW Women's World Championship. This was all very super quick. They were probably, behind on time, but I love the juxtaposition between where they're both at mentally. Like, Mariah May seems like she's all in control. She's very sinister, and Toni Storm has gone off the deep end. She's doing her makeup to make her look like the fucking Joker. And it's just so great. And these two women are just a peak in character mode right now. And I'm loving between last week's angle and this, they've gotten this back on track in my opinion. What did you think?
Yeah. Back on track is a good way to put it. Mariah May was great. I've never been into feet my whole life, but that picture of her, there's something about this picture. I'm not sure if it's the feet or the shoes or the hair. Maybe it's the all black. I don't know what it is. I love this picture. That aside, she was fantastic here. Toni was something. I didn't hate it. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I would let it play out, I suppose. But it was all right. She's definitely upset. I got that part. She's not pleased. All right. It was weird seeing her in regular clothes, right?
Who? Mariah May or Toni? Toni, yeah. She's got like a black jumpsuit now. Like she don't even care anymore.
Works for an electric company. All right.
McMahon Dog says, I remember jokingly saying that Toni needs to get Joker pilled when she got that good Collision promo, and I guess I have been granted my wish.
They definitely went overboard. I think I'm here for it though.
Me too.
The makeup, all white, the fucking eyebrows.
And although it was short, it was just great to see the total difference in where their characters are at. That's what I want to emphasize. It was just terrific juxtaposition, and they're exactly where they need to be going into All In. I need them to do like an in-ring promo where they could do the caveat of you guys can't touch each other, so we could hear them go verbally back and forth to kind of really reinforce like where they are totally on two different sides of the spectrum on mentally going into this matchup.
That could be fucking hilarious. Every time Mariah goes to talk to him, he starts yelling. Mariah's got to look around like somebody's taking this very personal.
It's like when you have a breakup, when one of the people is just taking it really badly, and the other is just like, I'm living my best life.
We had our fun. We move on.
It's really great. They've gotten this back on track for me. I really enjoyed it. We got Albert who says it's the whole package. LOL. Mariah May, Mamma Mia.
Yeah. It's something about it. I don't know. I might just like evil chicks.
It is. It might be that. It might be that. Well, Mike Nation says this match needs to be no DQ. I wouldn't mind it.
Same.
I feel like Jack and Darby needed more like a coffin match or something like that to make that match like the peak of what it could be. But I think that the story for Storm and May fit a no DQ type of stipulation.
Deserves it. The whole point of putting this fucking belt on Jack, besides the fact that you're pouring money into a dead project, the whole point was to see if he could swim. We're not giving him any more horse shit to help him swim. No fucking coffin match, no nothing. Here's the belt. Go make it work. Beat it.
I knew you were going to add that. Oh, we get footage of Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker confrontation at San Diego Comic-Con and having to be separated, which led to Tony Khan making the TBS title matchup coming up at All In. Got to plug this in. My daughter unplugged my laptop. But this leads to Camille's in-ring debut in AEW, or in-ring re-debut in AEW, with Mercedes Moné in her corner. She goes one-on-one with Brittany Jade. Commentary talked about the size of Camille, who's being referred to as the Brick House, despite Moné wearing massive heels again to look almost just as tall as her heater. Camille still looks intimidating. Anyways, Moné takes a seat on the steps as Camille rushed Jade at the bell, with Moné laughing. Camille spun Jade out of the corner by her neck before hitting a crazy-looking leaping leg lariat, at which point they do the close-up on Mercedes, who's just cackling as this whole match is going on. And then Camille finish off Jade with a sit-out dominator for the victory here. That looked good as a finisher. I like that. Then after post-match, Mercedes Moné, she steps on Jade with her heel, and Camille raises her hand. Mercedes tells the fans to welcome the newest member of Moné Corporation, the Brick House, Camille. For weeks, Mercedes has been victimized by Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, despite trying to be diplomatic, as Baker is obsessed with her. Moné said Baker's actions at Comic-Con got her suspended by her EVPs. Thank you. Moné said AEW is her house now, and she's going to turn this place into a mansion. Even losing to Moné, though, will be the greatest thing to happen in Baker's career, because money is everything. The crowd kind of booed. We're kind of silent for a little bit of this promo, but booed at the end as Mercedes, she just fits in this role as the cocky douchebag heel. She just plays it very, very well. She's very, very terrific as a douchebag heel, and Camille as a heater just works. And it is official. Mercedes Moné will defend the TBS Championship against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Sunday, August 25th at AEW All in London. What did you think about Camille's debut and the promo by Mercedes?
Debut was fine. I didn't need it, but it works. Promo was... First half was better than the second half. First half, she's kind of annoyed that Britt has done all this stuff to her. I thought it really worked. And then she went into character, we'll say. And the character is not very good. Sorry. I don't care what anybody says. And I will... Ma'am. Stop talking. That's fine. It works for me. She's much better as a heel. I'll say that much. Good Lord. Yeah. She looks fantastic. Though, you bring up the heels. This is the little stuff. It's the little things. Whatever. I'm sure she didn't even think about it. I'm sure she didn't even consider the fact that she's kind of ruining the whole point of Camille, who's 5'11", I think. And Sasha's 5'4", except when she's in these fucking 4-inch heels. Idiot. Jesus. Whatever. All right. You know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to get upset. Whatever. Good luck to everybody. Hope they all have fun.
Good luck to everybody involved. I like her heel role, not her heels in this situation. That's why I mentioned them. But I like her heelness because it just fits her character a whole lot better. And I think that it was the best decision to make if she was going to feud with Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. So it works on multiple levels for me. I mentioned this to you. I got to mention it here on air. Second week in a row with 2 women's matches. That might be a record.
Yeah, certainly. Fucking AEW, definitely. One of them was squash. You know what? That fucking qualifies. That's a match.
That's what you have to do. If that's the only way we can get 2 women's matches, make one a squash where you're doing like the post match or a pre match that builds to what you're building at the pay per view. But we got 3 women's segments, 2 matches between them. This works.
Does this continue once we move on from one of these fucking... You know what? I think it does. I think they see something Willow. It took them way too long. They see something Willow. Mercedes obviously stands alone. And Tony's always going to have a spot. You know what? We should always have 3 women's things going on per show. I wouldn't be shocked.
We got Albert who says, because she's a brick. Ow. She's my dad. Letting it all hang out.
The brick house. Shitty name. What's that name?
So we talked about it last week, and she kind of hinted at it with her promo. So is this leading to Mercedes having her own stable, the Moné Corporation?
God, but they do
even though copyrights be damned, she should have been Moné Inc.
That would be funny. I hope so. I don't know if I don't know. I don't want it to be a faction though. I said this last week. It's just be Sasha. I mean, Mercedes and the Renegade Twins and fucking Camille and all these people. And it's Mercedes and fucking company. Accompanied to the ring by her group, Mercedes. That's it.
It should be Mercedes Moné and Moné Incorporation.
Mercedes Moné and them. Mercedes Moné and these bitches to follow around.
I mean, Erica, I said this from the very beginning. That I think that Jamie Hayter is going to come out to help Britt. He says, I don't want her to go back to being a sidekick. I don't think she's going to be the sidekick. She's gonna take over this feud. She's gonna be the one that feuds with Mercedes coming out of all.
Really?
I think they do a tag team matchup at All Out. Camille and Mercedes versus Britt and Jamie. And then that's the match you do for either Wrestle Dream or Full Gear is Mercedes and Jamie Hayter.
Already fell for the okie doke. I'm not falling for it again. Not so much Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter's not clear to wrestle. She's not here. She's not back. We don't know anything. No need to talk about her. Let's move on.
He's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this, guy.
I would love for her to come back. Best of the business, but I mean, best in AEW, but I don't need it.
He's lost hope. He's lost hope, guys. All right, finally, we have our main event of the night. Hangman Adam Page going one-on-one with Darby Allin. Allin used his speed in the early going of this one to send Page to the floor. He tried to go for a coffin drop off the top rope to the floor, but Page catches him and hits a ridiculous-looking release German suplex where Darby landed on like his shoulder and neck. Allin crawled up the ramp and Page followed him, stalking him with a steel chair. He starts arguing with the referee, which allows Darby to hit a stun dog millionaire. And then he comes off the freaking entranceway, the tunnel, and does a fucking coffin drop off of there to take Hangman out. We come back from commercial break, and Hangman has taken control in the ring. He hits a nice little spinning sleeper before punting Allin. I just love how unhinged even his offense is now, Hangman. We get dueling chants for both guys. Darby starts fighting back. He floats over a suplex and does a springboard splash. The lights in the arena cut off for some reason. That was fucking weird. And like commentary didn't even know how to explain that shit. I think there was just like a power outage. They came back on as Allin was sent into the steel steps. Taz talked about how maybe a fuse blew backstage. Page sets up the steel steps right by the apron and he whoops Allin in. But Allin vaults over it and leaps onto Hangman, who catches him and starts repeatedly just power bombing him into the apron. He picks up Darby and he just has he has like this evil thought in his head. So he brings Darby over to the steel steps edges and fucking does a fall away suplex into the steel steps. Darby's not going to be able to walk. When he's like 50, he's not going to be able to walk because of these type of bumps. Darby's able to beat the count, though. Page controls things throughout the commercial break. He eventually gets him onto the top rope and hits a ridiculous-looking fall-away slam off the top rope. Allin rolls to the apron. Page follows him. He looks like he's about to set him up onto the steel steps. He wants a fall-away slam off the apron, but Allen's able to escape. He's just laying down on the steel steps. Hangman starts to get cocky. He steps onto the steel steps, which allows Allin to trip him up. He lands back first on the steel steps. And this leads to Darby doing this ridiculous-looking torpe suicida, knocking Hangman off the steel steps. That was a great spot. That was ridiculous-looking as well. These two guys just beat the hell out of each other here. We get back into the ring. Darby hits a code red for a 2 count. He tries to go for a coffin drop, but Hangman's able to catch him into a sleeper. Darby rolls through for a pin attempt, only gets a 2. Darby kicks Hangman in the face and then goes for a buckshot lariat, but Hangman catches him, turns him inside out for a lariat for a near fall. He then hits him with the last ride powerbomb, only gets a 2. He picks him up and hits a dead eye. He holds on to him, stands up on his feet and hits a second dead eye, but Hangman has that wild, crazy look in his eyes, and he doesn't go for the pin. He starts staring daggers at people in the crowd who are chanting for Swerve. He then gets on the apron and he goes for the buckshot lariat, but Darby does a great sell where he just gets to his feet barely and then collapses as Hangman does the flip over. Hangman's looking at kids in the crowd. Maybe it reminds him of what Swerve put his child and family through, says the commentary team. So he wants even more violence, seeking revenge. He picks him up, but Darby's able to reverse. He cradles him through, gets a flash pin, 1, 2, 3. Darby Allin beats Hangman Adam Page, and once again, Page is furious. He starts going off on Bryce Rensburg, starts getting in his face. Darby is just barely alive on the apron, but flips him off as the referee raises his hand. Hangman starts throwing steel chairs into the ring. He starts going crazy, yelling at the referee as we end the night with Darby on top. They go over the lineup for next week, and Darby is now officially on his way to AEW All in London, where he will get a shot at the TNT Championship against Jack Perry. They also made note that he was the winner of the Royal Rampage, so he also has an AEW World Title opportunity in his back pocket against the winner of the main event of All In at Grand Slam. That's why I gave Darby my best of the week. He won 2 title shots in one night, basically. So, what did you think about this main event matchup? I thought that this was a terrific first-time matchup. And it's crazy that this was a first-time matchup between these two. You would think 2 guys that have been with AEW since day one have probably fought like at least 1 or 2 times, but first-time matchup, they had great chemistry together. What did you think?
Terrific? You want to say terrific?
Yep.
I'm not mad at that take. I'm going to say a very good match. No, I'll go great. I can be honest. Darby might be my favorite wrestler to watch in general.
Yo, we talked about it yesterday. He's like in my top 5 best TV wrestlers ever. I was thinking about the other guys. I was like, Austin's in there because Austin just knew how to have like 5-6 minute matches and just be a great character and stuff like that. Sting is up there for me between this final run in AEW and his WCW run. Like I was watching old WCW from like the beginning of Nitro, the first year and a half of Nitro with True Rewind. Right. He was always great at those like 5 to 10 minute or 8 minute main event matches that Nitro used to have. Sting was always great in those. The Rock is up there. The Rock in his prime is a great TV wrestler. And I was trying to think of like modern era, and I would say modern era, maybe someone like MJF. MJF is another great TV wrestler as well.
I like that list. I'm trying to think. I want to get some other guys. Like I really like Psychosis, like 96, 97.
Ooh, Ray too. Ray was great on TV. Yeah.
But that's a good list. Darby's in there for me. He's in that category. He's fucking fantastic. Somebody he won't be able to walk when he's 50. That is certainly true. I feel bad for the consequences of his actions. I mean, what he does at his size. I mean, Kurt Angle says he has memory problems. Mick Foley says he has memory problems. None of this is shocking. And Darby is, I don't know, 6 inches shorter than they are. At least 100 pounds smaller. Foley's less than that. Don't think it's a great idea. But hey, you know what? Neither here nor there. We can get there when we get there. And when we get there, Darby won't remember that he's there because his brain will be mush. That aside, this was really good. Hangman is great as a character. And he's doing really good work with his facial expressions. But you can always tell exactly what he's thinking. You know, it would be even better if I could just tell what he's thinking while Excalibur is talking to me about what he's thinking. I can see it. Thank you. He's doing a
Leave it
great
to
job.
our imagination, please. he's looking at kids in the crowd. It's reminding him what Swerve did to his child.
It's so awkward. It does. Not how people talk. Please stop. You know what he talks like?
How do you know from where you're sitting? You're not sitting at ringside. You're sitting all the way up here. How do you know he's looking at a kid?
Excalibur talks like he's on the radio. Nigga, we can see. We can see. Please stop talking. This is just yapping about nothing. Yeah, this is really good. I am looking forward to any and everything these two guys do moving forward. This Jack Perry's the most exciting motherfucker in the world, but Darby gets something exciting out of him. I'm certain of it. He'll pull something out of his ass. What's for Hangman though? At the pay-per-view.
That they gotta set him up for something next week, at least next week. I know they basically gave the Elite the night off of this show after they lost Blood and Guts last week. But I would think that the biggest matchup they could possibly give Hangman without leaving him off this card is Okada. But do you really want him to lose like another matchup? I don't know.
No, I'm kind of hoping they send him home. They want him to do something. He just doesn't want to do it. He's too pissed off. He wanted to fight Swerve. He didn't get Swerve. He's fighting Darby Allin for no reason. This is stupid. I'm not fighting anybody. Going home. He can come back next month. Fight Swerve, I guess.
Can. Or he'd be the reason why Bryan does get the win at All In. He says he's going home, and then he shows up, and he costs Swerve the world title.
Oh, my God. Sold. I'm here for it. That's a good one. That's a nice call. Let's go with that, actually. You screwed him on the biggest stage of all.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
After he's been off TV for a month, he just shows back up. Fuck him. Let's go.
He put his hands on a referee again, so that's an easy way to kind of just write him off. Like he's suspended again.
Please. The Okada match, it'll be a good match, but really, Hangman's take another loss. It's heel versus heel, even though I assume Okada will be cheered in that fucking thing. People love Okada.
I would assume, especially in Wembley, he's gonna get cheered.
Yeah. Nah.
We got Power Chart Finisher says, hope Danielson wins and goes to WWE as AEW champion.
He doesn't see the type. He doesn't quite
Screw
see
him
the type.
over. Screw him over.
I see MJF doing that.
Yeah. 1,000%. 1,000%. But like you said, pretty good lineup for next week as well as for All In. You got next week MJF versus Kyle Fletcher. You got Jeff Jarrett versus Bryan Danielson. You got on Collision on Saturday that 8-man tag we talked about earlier, Undisputed Kingdom, the Beast Mortals versus Darby Allin, Mark
God.
PR. And then you got all the big matches for All In with MJF and Ospreay, Swerve and Danielson. Now title versus career. You got Mercedes versus Britt. You got Mariah May versus Timeless Toni Storm. And Darby Allin versus Jack.
Ill. One of these matches does not belong. That's a pretty good card, all things considered.
Yeah. I say they just got to firm up the what seems like we're going to get a 3-way for the tag team titles. That writes itself. If Hangman's going to be on this card, I think if you're him, you want to be on the card at Wembley because he was kind of like in what was he? He was in like the 6-man which was really Omega's rivalry with Omega and Ibushi versus Takeshita and Bullet Club Gold last year, which really felt like it was all kind of chugged together. So even if it's a late build with him and Okada, I think that's better than what he did last year. But I mean, I honestly, I wouldn't mind. I've talked myself into it. I honestly wouldn't mind him losing again because he has the best reaction when he loses. He's gonna murder the referee if he loses at all, and then that leads to him later in the night interfering and costing Swerve.
You ruined everything. Career's never been the same since this bum. Willow and Chris?
Darby. I lost to Bryan. I lost to Bloody Guts.
All out, probably. Willow and Chris.
I want it to be at All In. Just to be
Why?
3 women's matches. 3 women's matches on the card.
Why? Why? What's with you and these quotas? Fucking Wrestling Observer has no Negroes. We need 3 women's matches. Fill this quotas for.
I'm all for the quotas. You better get one Negro in. You better get something that is black and ain't the mic, Dave. But we're come to a close. On
Never, big man dogs. They don't believe that. They don't believe that. They just talking. They were just yapping. They were just needling. Nobody in there, outside of maybe Frantic World, nobody in their fucking real mind thinks Jack Perry's going to be a megastar. Stop it.
Jack Perry, the megastar. Jack Perry, the megastar. I'm going to keep saying it. But we come to a close on another edition of AEWramble. Thank you guys for joining us live. Thank you if you're watching us on demand. You know the deal. Final call for Super Chat donations. You guys have killed it today. We appreciate all that support. But also, let us know your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP. Out of 10, what did you give the show? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. For me and Jimmy for the July 31st, 2024 edition of AEW Dynamite in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Jimmy, out of 10, what did you give the show?
I'm going to, on paper, this feels like an 8, but I'm going to give it a 7. I didn't love the opening with MJF and Ospreay and Kyle fucking Fletcher. Willow and Statlander did not live up to my expectations. And, man, that was fantastic. No, I'll go 7.5. Maybe that's fantastic.
Main event and Swerve and Bryan is what really kind of bumps the score for me. So I will give it an 8 out of 10. Even though I had my issues with the opening, with the US UK vibes of the Ospreay and MJF that have been a good rivalry going into it. I thought that overall they made it work. Kyle Fletcher is Kyle Fletcher. I'm not as down on Kyle Fletcher as you. I like the Ospreay and Archer matchup. I thought that Willow and Statlander was fine. And then, the main event was tremendous. Bryan and Swerve was tremendous. Mariah May was awesome. Timeless Toni Storm was good. And Mercedes is a great douchebag heel. So I like this is the first time in a while that outside of having a blood and guts match that goes throughout the second hour, that there was multiple things in the second hour that I really enjoyed.
Quickest way to tell that your rating's too high. Frederick Rowe had the same rating. Saying they went too high. You know you went too high. So, Jesus, fuck that up. Come on.
Well, we got Chuck Berry's with a thumbs up, 7 out of 10 for me. We got Frantic World who goes 8 out of 10. We got Big Man Dawes who did originally go 6.75, or actually the main event. He says 7.25 out of 10. We got Annika who says the crowd didn't do Willow and Stat justice. So maybe
Tony Khan hasn't done Willow and Stat justice. This shitty
true.
feud.
Also true. What was your match of the night?
Oh, main match. For all of these.
Hangman Page and Darby Allin for sure. My match of the night. MVP.
Was it better than Swerve and Dragon though?
No, MVP for the show is Bryan Danielson and Swerve. Like they upped the ante with the stakes being brought up to title versus career for All In, and Bryan was on peak mode. This is how Bryan went from the guy that when we first discovered him, they was like, oh, he's great in the ring, but I don't know about him on the mic. And now he's one of the best promos out there. And he sold me on a matchup that last week I was convinced maybe they made the wrong decision. They should have went with Swerve and Hangman after that blood and guts. but they sold me 100% with that whole angle, and Swerve was the perfect kind of foil and antagonist in the story as well. So both guys get my MVP. What about you?
I'm gonna go with Dragon. Swerve was good. Dragon was fucking splendid. I'm with Dragon.
Indeed, I agree with you there. LVP for the show, Jimmy.
Oh, I was trying to think really hard about it. There it is right there. Kyle Fletcher, come on now.
And we will. Yeah, what I would do.
Oh. Boy, I tell you, if he wasn't friends with fucking Ospreay, that boy would be at McDonald's. Good Lord. Please shut up.
I'm trying to think here, because my initial thought would be it's either Tony Khan or MJF or whoever thought about bringing the American title in a month out from all it, because this is bad timing. It's just bad timing, and especially with I'm going to give it to Tony Khan. I'm going to give it to Tony Khan because he's the final decision on all of this. He should have looked at the schedule AEW had for Dynamite, being in South Carolina this week, North Carolina next week. Maybe a U.S. versus U.K. angle ain't the way to go with how the current political climate is. Maybe you shouldn't do that because that's making the heel in the situation get USA chance. So so I'm going to give it to Tony Khan for that decision alone. Otherwise, it was a very good episode. I gave it an 8 out of 10. But that brings us to a close on another edition of AEWramble. As always, sir, always have fun talking about this show with you. Let everybody know where they can follow you or anything else you want to follow.
No, it's all right.
I figured you would do that. Follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat, Patreon.com/TrueHillHeat. We do reviews for most of the shows. We did a review on WWE Raw this week. Check out Rated Raw review with myself and Romeo, breaking down Monday Night Raw. Check myself and Ella J out on our SummerSlam preview, giving our predictions for this Saturday's card. And, of course, check out our 3 count with SP3, where I talked about the breaking news of Shane McMahon meeting up with Tony Khan. We will talk further in depth on that subject and much, much more on the True Hill Heat flagship podcast. So join us live here Saturday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Miss Chrissy Love will be back. The True Draw Josh will be there. We'll talk about Dynamite. We'll talk about the big news with Shane McMahon and AEW. We'll talk about WWE SummerSlam this Saturday as well and give our final predictions there. But you know Jimmy's going for LA Knight, Braun Breaker, and Gunther. If we can get all 3 of those, maybe Jimmy will join us on the review. I don't know. He's busy.
Let me get that Drew McIntyre squash, but Punk pulls it out the end, like the Warlow match. Just do that again, please and thank you.
That's actually an unpredictable matchup. Like, I'm going with Drew because I feel like Drew has to win at some point, and I feel like it's better to create the tension between Punk and Seth now than later, but it could go either way.
Well, here's the question: if you have Drew win, can you get another match out of Drew and Punk?
Yeah. Because Punk's a babyface. That's why you don't have him win here, because this is really just the first matchup in what should be at least 2 matchups.
Stay healthy, sir.
Fingers crossed. For Jimmy Macram, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. Like, comment down below. Let us know what you thought of AEW Dynamite this week. And thank you so much for last week's show. It was our second most viewed episode of AEWramble for Blood and Guts. Over 1,000 views for that one. So hopefully we could get that as well for this one. So drop the thumbs up. It helps out the YouTube. Thanks, Jimmy. For Jimmy, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been AEWramble 157. Title versus career. We are signing off until next time.